please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Welcome back. It's getting a bit volatile for Asian markets, and that's reflected in the way SGX Nifty is also behaving now. 55 points down. Hang Seng is once again down 300 points. So obviously that's a bit of a problem, the emerging market space. Nishal Maheshwari is still with us. Nishal, the other big stock, or the biggest of them all, Reliance. Your thoughts on the big rally and the recent moves?
So Anuj,
the recent moves.
So Anuj, you know my views. Basically, we have been very positive on Reliance particularly, and I continue to remain that way. You just look at it basically in the last 2 years since Jio has been launched, it has become a number 2 player, leaving behind all the biggies out there. And given that the scenario is changing, moving away from voice to data, I think it is advantage Jio. So I think one thing which is very interesting, which I would want to highlight, is basically this is old economy company making a shift towards a new economy and doing it in a very, very spectacular way. So I think this is very important. People have to understand that Reliance is changing, and we have strong cash flows coming from the old economy, and the new economy continues to do pretty well. So that is what my thought process remains to be, and I think Reliance should be bought at all dips.
Okay, but the rupee is not being bought at all dips. The first trade is a very bad trade. The markets have not been enthused by Mr. Garg saying that the rupee has fallen enough. That was the big quote that the rupee dealers were hoping will encourage people to stop going short on the rupee or going long on the dollar. But that's not the first trade, and that's a little unnerving. After all, what has happened? Just a few more cents on the crude price. And of course, yes, dollar also a little bit stronger. But this is a sharp reaction that has come after that 71.73 that the rupee ended on Friday. A very strong reaction coming from the Reserve Bank, and now Mr. Garg giving his side, or the government saying no need for the rupee to fall further. But this is a rather strong shorting call on the rupee that's come from the market. Yes, this is the first call, but this is no good, not very good news for a stock market that threatened to open in the green and suddenly lost all steam.
Yeah, and that's why the MSCI India index has also been catching up to the falls that we've seen in MSCI emerging market and Asia ex Japan. By the way, the pre-opening rates are kicking in. The stock that's taking a big beating in pre-opening is Tata Motors. It's down almost 5.5% right now on the back of the weakness that we saw in the Jaguar Land Rover numbers, and perhaps some profit taking as well. On the upside, Axis Bank is your top gainer, up about 1.5%. And you also have a couple of stocks like Sun Pharma that are in the news on the back of news flow that the Mohali plant could see a surprise inspection from the US FDA. But before we, let's thank Nishal Maheshwari for joining us and invite SP Tulsian on board. Mr. Tulsian, good morning. I wanted your thoughts on how to approach a stock like Sun Pharma now, because, you know, Ekta was just telling us that there could be a surprise inspection at the Mohali unit. We've not seen very good news in the recent past as well. You expect more pressure there?
Yes, Sonia, this Mohali news is definitely seen to be a negative, and in fact, yes, on Friday I have said that probably after seeing a good run-up in the share price, post good Q1 numbers, you have seen the stock having risen by about 130, 140 rupees. And of that, you know, in fact, I was expecting it to correct by about 30, 40 rupees, but on Friday, it just corrected by about maybe 15 rupees or so in the last, in the last 1 hour, we have seen buying across the board in the market and in Sun Pharma also. So again, the same view that yes, probably the stock should correct to a level of about 635, 640, which should be seen as a good support for the share price, factoring this Mohali, which is on face of it, prima facie looks to be a negative news.
Okay. Yes, that does look like negative. It's an inspection that has started. We will worry even more when the results are due. 72.13, so not much of a difference even after the first 5 minutes of trading on the rupee, and the yields are responding to what the rupee is telling them, as well as what crude also is, a few cents more. So together that's taken the bond yield from 8.03 to 8.06. The markets will very eagerly await an OMO announcement, open market purchase of bonds by the Reserve Bank, because this is also advanced tax week. and that will mean tighter liquidity. So the Reserve Bank will be expected to do an OMO. That might alleviate stress somewhat, but please note that's a fresh negative for 806 for NBFC stocks as well, for finance stocks as well. Good morning, Mr. Tulsian. I wanted your take on Axis Bank as well. Is the news of the new CEO well factored in, or do you think Axis has legs to run simply because corporate lenders are doing well?
Lata, I think this news seemed to have factored in, because if you really now take the fundamental call on the stock, price to book of 2.5, seem to be still stretched, because in fact the news of this Amitabh Chaudhary was seen coming in has already was just known to the market that this is seen confirmed maybe for last couple of weeks. And in fact, the rise which you have seen in the share price by about 150 rupees in Axis Bank in last couple of months, post this Shikha Sharma going up and the new CEO coming in from 31st December, have largely factored in. And in fact, if you don't see this SEBI summons issue, Chanda Kochar, getting in case of ICICI Bank, probably the things will start moving from Axis Bank to ICICI Bank, mainly on the ground that the valuation theory, because if you now take the on any parameter, price to book of, as I said, of FY19, March 19, if I take on Axis Bank, it's 2.5 or maybe 2.5 plus, and even on the market cap factor also, there is a difference of about 50,000 crore between Axis Bank and ICICI Bank, while ICICI Bank, if you add the market cap of subsidiaries, that works out about 60,000 crore. ICICI Pru, ICICI Lombard, ICICI Securities. So I think on all parameters, but if you just remove this news of Chanda Kochar SEBI summons, which again market will rather be factoring in that yes, Chanda Kochar will be going away maybe by 31st March, maybe Justice Sri Krishna Commission, Sri Krishna report inquiry gets over. So on all parameters, I think that Axis Bank seem to have been fully priced in, and maybe if any rally is seen on the sentimental of this Ms. Chaudhary coming in, should be used as a shift or as an exit opportunity.
Okay. Well, just to tell you, sir, today the Indian Express report on ICICI Bank is a little more concerning for an investor, because it says in the RTI that it filed with the Reserve Bank, the Reserve Bank says that it has not given a clean chit yet to ICICI, and that it does not want to give any information because it might affect the competitive position of the bank. Now, I thought that was a strong reply. So at the moment, ICICI is down, probably because of the immediate aftermath of this report.
Obviously, that's the case. So down about 1%. By the way, the other stock to focus on today is IFCI. That I think the numbers there's a big net loss compared to profit. So that stock is down about 4% in pre-open. That's IFCI. Now 6.5% down in pre-open. And on the way up, we have some of these metal names, GSW Steel, Jindal Steel. Of course, this report on anti-dumping perhaps is helping. Vedanta as well, up about 1% right now. Mr. Tulsian, good morning. Your thoughts on, if you have been positive on this metal stocks, but GSW Steel and Jindal Steel?
Anuj, positive on both because of this duty structuring and all that, and apart from the fundamentals, if you really see the kind of rise which we have been seeing the product prices. In fact, in September months, we have never seen the long products rising. In fact, long products have corrected in the month of August, but again have started rising. And once this monsoon will get over, the beneficiary, the Jindal Steel and Power and JSW Steel, both will be beneficiary of the steel price, right? And even coming on the flat products also, the things are seen to be quite high. And with the weakening rupee on the import parity price, import will become expensive because global market prices are also not getting reduced. It's not that the foreign suppliers will be reducing the price because of the dollar getting stronger. So taking on overall call, I think we are keeping positive view not on Jindal Steel and JSW Steel, but on all other ferrous metal stocks, maybe like Sunflag Iron, Sarda Energy, Mukan Limited. In fact, all of them are looking quite good.
So I wanted your thoughts also on a couple of these NBFCs like Cholamandalam and IIFL. I mean, Credit Suisse has downgraded these stocks today, stating that the funding costs are going to go up for some of these companies like Cholamandalam that are present in low pricing power segments. Would you concur with that view, or are these still stocks that are good buying opportunities?
See, Sonia, in fact, credit cost is the case with all the companies. It is not only isolation with IIFL or maybe Cholamandalam, but only point of concern for Cholamandalam is that they have not yet moved to the new accounting regime. Still, they are on the end gap, and in fact, if you and probably they are likely to migrate maybe in the September quarter, and once that happens, that is going to give the pain, because that's an indication coming in. So except for that, I don't think that you have any kind of concerns on Cholamandalam. In fact, cost of rising is seen to be the case with all the NBFCs. In case of Cholamandalam, vehicle finance vertical is seen to be doing quite well, but migration to Ind AS from Ind Gap, is seen to be will be taking a toll on the September quarter results, which we throw some kind of caution.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tulsian. Just coming to you in a minute, we have to address the rupee. It's falling actually in line with other currencies. The rupiah is also down 0.3, but the rupee is down 0.5%. And Filipino peso, other currencies also about 0.25% lower. Today, rupee is falling a little more than other currencies. Koon Go of ANZ Research is joining us on the phone line. Good morning, Koon. This is a fresh round of reverses that EM currencies are facing. Will it affect all of them? Will rupee be affected a little more?
Good morning. At this point in time, the economies that are running current account deficits are coming under more pressure than those that are running surpluses. So in the case of Asia, it's the Indian rupee and also the Indonesian rupiah that are worse hit from what's happening in general negative sentiment towards emerging markets. And I think near term, there's going to be more pressure on the rupee, simply because this month the U.S. Federal Reserve looks like they're going to hike rates. That's fully priced in by the markets, and the strong payrolls numbers on Friday pretty much cements not only the rate hike this month but also another one in December. So that is also going to continue to put further pressure on EM generally.
But Koon, already the rupee has depreciated about 3% in the past couple of weeks, and probably 5% in the past month, and maybe 10% year to date. Will the market at some point buy the rupee? Will you buy the rupee? Especially because we have seen the significant amount of support coming from the Reserve Bank in the form of supply of dollars, and now the government also saying that the rupee has fallen enough.
Yeah, there's no doubt that the rupee has fallen the most in Asia so far this year. But if you look at our assessment of where we think fair value for the rupee is, even at over 72, rupee is still a little bit on the expensive side. We put fair value closer to 73. So from that point of view, and given the sentiment around EM generally, and the fact that India is running a current account deficit which needs to be funded from portfolio flows, the fact that the rupee is still expensive means that there's room for it to weaken further in the near term. And the RBI themselves, while they have intervened over the early part of this year in order to smooth volatility in the rupee, in recent weeks and months, it looks like they have changed tack a little bit. They have pulled back a little bit from FX intervention, probably to ensure that liquidity onshore doesn't tighten too much. And that's another reason why suddenly we've seen quite a sharp weakening in the rupee in recent weeks.
All right, Koon, thanks a lot for your quick take this morning. So the weakness continues. By the way, the pre-open has settled, so let's now focus on that. 18 points down only on the Nifty. I'm saying only because the SGX Nifty is indicating deeper cut, and the Bank Nifty down 86. Ashwani, if we open here, is there a trade?
See, the trade is if the Bank Nifty falls, say about 130 to 150 points, because that's the average gap down you get in general. I don't think Nifty on a 13-point gap down should be bought, but maybe closer to say 480, 500, if it gets there at some point during the day, then it might be a better buy. But I think Bank Nifty will get very close to the lower end of the range, and that is where you should try to buy it.
Okay, well, the weakening rupee is definitely having a salutary impact on the technology stocks. Infosys, HCL Tech, TCS are all your top trades this morning in pre-opening. Ashwini, what would your 9-10 call be?
Yeah, I think Yes Bank broke the 200-day moving average on Friday, so this is a sell with a stop of 328, target of 310.
Okay. Well, just a minute to go, but we haven't got commodity cues. Manisha Gupta joins us. Manisha, sorry, but we have only 60 seconds.
Well, you know, I'll just take it from the currency part yet again, because the US dollar index is trading at a 3-week highs. You also have seen very strong US non-farm payroll data, and that will continue to weigh on some of these metal and precious metal commodities there. But the crude oil prices, after 3 weeks or 3% of a decline in the previous week, is holding firm. You have seen Iran sanctions loom strong. India, Japan, South Korea have continued to cut in imports. You also have seen hedge funds add to more bullish positions. China August imports is up 6%. So there are more and many factors which will continue to support crude oil prices during the day.
Okay, thanks for that, Manisha. The markets at this point in time looking like a flat opening, but Nifty Bank is taking it on the chin. Sudarshan, anything further you want to spot?
Yes, ICICI Bank and BPCL are short-selling candidates for the day.
Okay, and Mitesh, anything you spotting?
I think I would possibly bet on IT. See, the Nifty is not opening very weak as compared to the SGX. So in case we start normal, I think maybe HCL Tech and